This foundation video is going to be for those of you with drier, perhaps more mature skin. I've noticed, especially in the winter, my skin does get a lot more dry. I usually have oily combo skin like in the summer and spring, but in the winter it gets very dry here, so my skin gets really tight and irritated easily, and I get more fine lines around my eyes. And this is a problem with a lot of mineral makeup because mineral makeup is usually made for more oily combination skin because it works with the natural oils of your skin. So I want to show a way that I've been wearing it for the winter and give you guys some tips, especially if you have drier and more mature skin, on how to wear mineral makeup. You're going to want to make sure you exfoliate your skin at least 2 to 3 times a week. I like to use the Avalon Organics facial exfoliator, but you know, any kind with fine granules is perfectly fine. I also enjoy the Alba Botanicals. I think it's like the algae enzyme scrub. It's really good as well. So those are 2 really good cruelty-free options you can use that are paraben-free. I have 2 recommendations for moisturizers to start off with. This one I recommend more for the summer. It's a wonderful oil controlling lotion. In the winter time I do need a little bit more moisture, so I have been pairing it with jojoba oil, which is Desert Essence also has their own brand of jojoba oil. Just put a couple drops in with your moisturizer, especially around bedtime, and it will really help your skin. I also use the jojoba oil as a makeup remover around my eyes, and I leave a little bit on when I go to bed, and that really does help with fine lines. Like, it really just helps keep it moisturized and smoothed out. You don't want to apply this like right before you put on makeup because, you know, any oil-based product that doesn't completely absorb into the skin is going to cause creasing in your eye makeup, and you don't want that. So that's really good for a nighttime kind of treatment. I'm trying out this one for right now. It's another Desert Essence product. I just got it, so I can't do a full review on it yet, but I've used it a couple times and it is a little bit more moisturizing than this one. So I'll let you know if this breaks me out, but again, I haven't had any problems with their products irritating my skin. So this is more for, it says normal skin, so it's a little better for my skin right now, which is more combo and normal to dry kind of skin, but it still gets irritated and gets acne breakouts. So I'm trying this one out. I don't like that it's in a tub necessarily, but just make sure you use clean hands and hand sanitizer before you use it and you'll be fine. Or you could depot it and put it into a pump bottle or something. And I have clean hands. I'm just going to apply a little bit all over my face. I'm going to concentrate on my eye area because the eye area in particular is where a lot of us have issues with dryness and have problems with our makeup getting into our fine lines. And this really does sink in really quickly, and it doesn't leave an oily residue on the face, which is why I love it for under makeup. And the same with this one too. It doesn't leave that oily residue on the skin, so it isn't going to contribute to breakouts at all. My second tip is to use either a tinted moisturizer or liquid foundation as your base layer. And I know people will think, well, if I use liquid foundation or tinted moisturizer, then why do I need a mineral foundation on top? And I'll get into this later in the video, but basically the reason why, especially if you have more mature combo acne prone skin, if you have a lot of redness you need to cover, you are going to need the full coverage that you can get. And sometimes I find that full coverage foundations, a lot of the ones that you can find, are not necessarily the best for your skin. They really don't let your skin breathe, which is very important to keep your pores from clogging and to keep your skin nice and beautiful looking. So that's why I don't necessarily recommend just using a full coverage liquid foundation, especially if you have problem skin. So that's why I like the option of doing a thin layer of either a tinted moisturizer or a foundation. And these are the 2 that I really recommend for vegans out there who are concerned with safe cosmetics, meaning cosmetics without parabens, more natural cosmetics. So If you don't have quite the problem skin that I have, as you see, I have acne scarring and I have a few breakouts here and there and just uneven skin tone. I have hyperpigmentation. So this is for more days when I don't want a lot of makeup and I don't need full coverage. And this would be good for people that have more normal skin, don't need quite as much correction. And this is the 100% pure tinted moisturizer, and this is in the shade Creme. And these are not as light as they say on the website. They are slightly more orange tinted than I like, but we're going to color correct with our Minreal foundation on top, so it doesn't seem to be an issue for me anyway. So for this tutorial, I am going to use the tinted moisturizer because I think it is really good for especially mature dry skin, which is what this video is about. So I want to show how I use that and how I get full coverage without looking dry and cakey, which you can with mineral makeup if you over apply it. We're going to start off with a little bit of this, and I love that it's in a pump. You just put it on the back of your hand. I do about 2 pumps full. And I just apply the tinted moisturizer with my fingers and really work it into the skin. And it's going to apply a lot better now that we used a moisturizer first. Because this isn't the most moisturizing tinted moisturizer I've ever used, probably because it has titanium dioxide in it. But that's where you get the coverage from. So it's slightly better coverage than a lot of tinted moisturizers out there I've used before. And this is just going to give a really nice, even layer of color and a little bit of moisture, which is really going to help the application of our mineral foundation. So yeah, just really work it into the skin. It's a really beautiful product. It really makes my skin feel really good. I never have any of that itchy feeling I do with a lot of drugstore foundations and tinted moisturizers. This is a really gentle one. And yeah, I know it's pricey, but skincare is so important. Save money on the rest of your makeup and just invest in good skincare products, and you won't need as much makeup to cover it up, I find. Because I know my skin is not perfect, but it is a lot better than it used to be when I use drugstore makeup. Take a little bit more work than maybe some other techniques we used before, but I really recommend it, especially for more mature skin. Okay, so you can see that already did make a difference in some of the redness that I have. It doesn't completely eliminate my acne, scarring, or anything like that. And we're going to go in with a full coverage. We're going to go in with the concealer for that. I love the Super Cover Cream Concealer from Beauty Without Cruelty. It is my favorite all-time concealer. We're going to just go in on any places where we have really bright red acne or acne scarring. And this is another key for more mature skin. You don't want to apply a ton of product. Less is more with mature skin, because the more product you put on your skin, the more it's going to sink into your fine lines, which is why I don't recommend putting a full coverage foundation all over your skin, because it is just going to sink into your fine lines and not look very natural throughout the day. And then I love this brush for buffing in concealer, and that way I don't have to touch my face quite as much. I always start off with clean hands, but I like not touching my face when I can. So then we just go in with this and buff in the concealer. And again, make sure you clean your brushes with rubbing alcohol at least a few times a week, and then do a deep clean every other week. That's how I do it anyway. Just buff it in. And see, we still have that dewy, glowy look from the tinted moisturizer, but we're getting our full coverage on the areas we need it with the concealer. There we go. I love this concealer. It is really, really good. I think it's like $14 or $12, or I know you can get it on Vitacost for like, I think it's $11 or $12, which isn't bad, and it lasts you a long time. And this color is really good for fair girls. It's just the fair color. My favorite under eye concealer is the Without Cruelty Liquid Concealer. It comes in like a twist up pencil form, but I'm all out of it right now for this video. I need to order more. But another one I recommend, it's not paraben free, so if that's an issue for you, definitely go with the Without Cruelty version. And I do like that one a little better too, because it has more of a salmon undertone, which is excellent at helping to cover dark circles, because you know, dark circles are usually purplish in tone, and orange is the complementary color of purple. So if you use a concealer with more of an orange tone in it, that is going to help. But the key here for fine lines is using a thin liquid concealer, because it's not going to sink into your fine lines quite as much, and it's going to keep it more light and moisturized under your eye area. Because a big no-no for me anyway is applying mineral foundation right under the eye, because it will sink into your fine lines and it doesn't look very good. So yeah, we're definitely just going to gently pat this in. Don't tug the eye at all, just pat it in as lightly as you can. So now we have all of our base stuff done. If you wanted to go that extra step and go for a little brightness, you can go in with the Hibiscus color corrector, and this is from Pumpkin and Poppy. It is a pink salmon, well, not pink, but orange based pink color. Try to get it as true to color as I can, because again, the key here is light layers of product. Do not cake on your product. And this is going to give more evenness to our skin and brighten it up a little bit more. That is what the pink in this does. It really just evens out and brightens the skin tone. And it's a little bit easier to use than a green color corrector, in my opinion. I like green for when I need like super full coverage, but this is more for like every day. It really just evens everything out. And yeah, and just a light layer with a fluffy brush. Not a Kabuki brush for this part. We're going to use the Kabuki for our actual mineral foundation on top there. You just use this in a light layer all over your face, and a thin layer. Favorite paraben-free eye primer is the e.l.f. Mineral Primer. It's really, really good, and it doesn't have any silicone in it either, I don't believe. So it doesn't clog my pores quite as much. I think it has mineral oil in it, but just for using it on my eyelid, I don't find that it causes any issues for me anyway. I think you can see it's already like brightening the skin and creating more evenness, which is what happens to a lot of mature skin. Mature skin tends to get more redness and blotchiness and patchiness, and we need to even it out and get a good base to work from, and then we don't need as much foundation on top, which is key for keeping everything out of your fine lines. Just don't use as much and just use a minimal amount. Use a fluffy brush, blend really well. And next we're going to go in with our full coverage mineral foundation. I have been using Seashell, which is the more pink toned, a little bit lighter version of my foundation, my full coverage foundation. I usually use Creamy Peach in the summer and spring and months when my skin's a little bit darker, but my skin is super light this late in the winter, so I've been using Seashell as my color. But yeah, I'm using the e.l.f. Studio Kabuki brush for this, just to get a light layer, which is going to give us that airbrush look that we want without the cakey feeling. Okay, and then the final step is the oil absorbing mineral veil from my line. You can use any translucent powder that you like. I just like that this has rice powder in it. My skin really likes it. It seems to soothe it, and it's really soft, and it has some of the silica microspheres in it as well, which really does help to blur any imperfections. Start with putting that under my eye, and this is just the mineral powder brush again. I think it's the powder brush, yeah, from e.l.f. And just make sure you get underneath your eye, since you only have a liquid product under there. you want to make sure to set it. And since this doesn't have any color in it, it's not going to sink into your fine lines. A final finishing step if you want. I don't have any right now. I used to have Thayers Lavender Witch Hazel Toner. I like a gentle spritz of a toner on my face. This has alcohol in it, so I don't recommend it for winter. It's my Dickinson's Witch Hazel Toner. But I recommend the Thayers brand. I don't think it has any alcohol in it, and it would be a really good finishing kind of fixing spray. And the final step, if you want extra glowiness and extra prettiness, find a highlighter that you like. My favorite one is from my line. It's the Gold Dust highlighter. I love gold highlighters for every day. I just think they just warm up your skin and just look really pretty. But yeah, use whatever highlighter you like. And I just like to use the e.l.f. blush brush. It's like a really good brush for just getting right where you need it. Because you don't want the shine all over your face. You just want it the highest points of your face, like your cheekbone. Things like that. And that's just going to give that extra glowy, dewy kind of look to your skin, which will make you look a little bit younger as well. And I like to do a little bit on the bridge of my nose as well. A little bit on my forehead. Just at like the highest point in the middle. Alright, I will see you in my next video. I will be going over how to wear color cosmetics, brighter color cosmetics, how to wear makeup and still look elegant and chic and still be able to wear color well into your 40s and beyond. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next one.